My name is Angela Modulewski, and I am the head of marketing strategy at SheerIDEA. So most of what I do is meet with our customers and potential customers and kind of talk about marketing best practices, marketing strategies that have worked really well for our customers, go over some customer examples, messaging, things like that, since these are very niche specific communities and not everybody who we've worked with knows how to speak the language for these different groups. So one of the things I get asked about a lot is affiliate marketing and how does affiliate marketing work with SheerIDEA. I'm not going to give you a sales pitch, but just a quick overview. Identity marketing platforms are a little bit different than, say, a marketplace verification solution. We're not an affiliate. We're not a publisher, so we don't take last touch. All of the tracking is passed through the verification, and so that allows you to work with as many different affiliates and publishers as you would like. And you also get to collect and keep all the zero-party data. So we did do a zero-party data webinar. You can watch that one on demand. But since we are not an affiliate, we wanted to bring some experts to the table and kind of have a quick conversation with them about what they're seeing, industry trends, best practices. So I am very, very happy to introduce you to our panel. We have Kelly Ground. She is the head of affiliate and brand strategy at Acceleration Partners. And Acceleration Partners is a SheerIDEA preferred marketing partner. We have Trisha Meyer. She's the executive director of the Performance Marketing Association, and she's also the owner of Sunshine Rewards. And then we have Brooke Schaaf, and he is the CEO of FMTC. FMTC is another company that SheerIDEA works with very, very closely because it's such a great tool for helping our customers distribute their affiliate offers. Do you guys want to say hi? Hey.
Thanks for having us.
Hey.
Hi. Such a pleasure. Before we dive in, we want to do just a little bit of level setting. We want to make sure that this presentation and this conversation is really helpful for all of you. So we're going to put up a quick poll just to get an idea of how familiar everybody is with affiliate marketing.
And that poll should be live now. You should see it if you are an attendee.
Perfect. So we're asking, are you currently doing affiliate marketing? Is it part of the mix? And then if you are, how do you feel that it's going right now? And Ashley will let us know when we have some results.
Yeah, it looks like we're getting quite a few, so I'll give it just another second there.
I'm curious. If I were going to guess, I would guess that a lot of people who join this call are doing affiliate marketing right now, or at least considering it.
So it looks like about 80% of people are currently doing affiliate. 60% of you think that it is going great. 20% need some optimization, and 20% of the group, which maps to the people who are not doing affiliates, are not currently using. So there you go, Angela.
Thank you. Super interesting. Okay, then we won't spend time today on kind of the hows and what's and whys of affiliate marketing. You guys are familiar with the concept. So we can just kind of jump in. And I think there are going to be a lot of great ideas, things that you can implement when you're doing your 2022 planning. So we're going to start with a super broad question. What do each of you think the biggest challenge is facing affiliate marketers today? So we'll start with Kelly.
Thank you. So one of the biggest challenges that we're seeing at Acceleration Partners and just industry-wide, I would say, is how programs can accelerate their growth. I think that if you have an established affiliate program, it's been around for a really long time. You know who your big players are, your big partners. Many brands aren't aware that there are so many unique affiliate partners to work with. There are thousands out there. And rather than working with a specific set of partners, it's great to diversify your portfolio, and make sure that you're growing and reaching different audiences. So at Acceleration Partners, we actually have a publisher development team, and that is what they do day in and day out, where they recruit, activate, and optimize different partners and introduce all of our brands to new partners. It's been really successful, and we're continuing to see growth month over month here at AP. But I do think for 2022, it's going to be really interesting with some of the changes that we're seeing across the industry with some of the other, Googles and Facebooks and everything else. But yeah, definitely growth. All of our brands want growth. So it's super exciting right now.
Fantastic. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Growth is definitely top of mind. Trisha, is that something that you're seeing too, or are you seeing some other challenges this year?
I think the thing about affiliate marketing is what makes it great is also its biggest challenge, and that's that it changes so much. And it's constant in every area. We have technological changes, we have tracking changes across the different networks, we have consolidation of networks and platforms. We have so many new brands that came on during COVID because they weren't selling online before, or that wasn't their priority, and now they are. And so it's just the great thing about affiliate marketing is it always changes. I've been at it almost 15, 20 years, and it's something new every year, but it's also the biggest challenge because there's a lot to keep on top of. So you really have to be using all the tools that you can, following, the experts in the industries to see what's going on. Because as one person or as a small business, you can't really know everything that's going on. So you've got to find a lot of people that you trust and a lot of companies that you trust that you can work with to kind of keep you in the loop in all of the different changes.
Absolutely. Yeah. And speaking of tools, I think FMTC is really helpful for a lot of different affiliates and advertisers. Brooke, what do you see some of the biggest challenges are right now?
The affiliate has a great opportunity. As Kelly mentioned, we were seeing a lot of growth. As Trisha mentioned, we're seeing a lot of change, and it's difficult to manage scaling because there's a lot of friction. So when you have a person-to-person relationship, which really is always a part of affiliate marketing, that is great, but you need to manage all the links when you're working with a lot of merchants, which is where the opportunity lies. This means they're going to have a huge link inventory. Of course, accompanying deals make it more complex as the products. And that's the service that FMTC provides. We provide enterprise publishers with deal and product feeds to get the content onto the publisher sites.
Such a great solution. And I touched just a little bit kind of when we kicked off the conversation, I was talking about last touch, talking about some tracking. I know there have been some tracking, challenges. Things have been changing a little bit. So what should brands and publishers be considering when they're thinking about tracking and last touch attribution? Brooke, I'm going to start with you.
Yeah, I would say in a word reconciliation. And what I mean by that is you can reconcile affiliate, which is very, very powerful and really puts the merchant or the advertiser in the driver's seat. What is the commission rate? Is the commission reversed? How is it paid out, et cetera? You can't reconcile your other channels, Facebook, Google, except for fraud. They're not going to give you your dollars back. So you have to take that into account with your attribution model. And I would further add that I think that affiliate commissions tend to be smaller as a general rule than they otherwise could be or might be.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. And I know that some people, some brands, some networks have been moving towards more of a hybrid model instead of last touch. Trisha, is that something that you've been seeing?
Is because I think the primary thing that you have to consider is your customer's journey. And that depends a lot on your brand. It depends on the type of products that you're selling. You need to think about your customer's journey. Are they going out first and doing a lot of research because they're looking for a type of product and they want to see reviews on how that product works, or they want to do brand comparisons, they want to do price comparisons? So thinking about the journey of your average customer and all of those different points, are they influenced by influencers, or are you selling refrigerator repair parts and influencers aren't a part of that journey at all? So thinking about that journey and then thinking about how you want to incentivize each different touch during that journey. Obviously the closer, that last touch, that's important because that's the person that's closing the deal for you. But you really have to think about what you're selling and what your customer's journey looks like, and then how you incentivize it each different place along the way.
Yeah, I know I've heard another thing that can be a little bit tricky about last touch attribution is if you have that promo code box in your cart, a lot of people will kind of jump. They're going to go look to see if they can find a coupon or a promo code, and then they come back. So that coupon site is getting last touch. Kelly, is that something that some of your customers deal with, and how do they kind of handle that?
Yeah, and I definitely want to echo what Trisha said as far as the consumer journey. Attribution is actually something that we talk day in and day out with our clients. I think the biggest piece here is to make sure their internal leadership is aware of how affiliate works. And at the end of the day, we want them to be successful. Ideally, we would love affiliate to get credit, but if other channels get credit, that's great. We want the business to be successful. There's so many great tools in affiliate marketing that I don't think a lot of people are aware of. I definitely recommend talking to your networks and seeing there's really cool like insights tools where you can look at, cross-channel touch and different reports, like how are the new customers that you're bringing in, how are they actually when are they repeat purchasing? There's so many different reports now that we have access to that we didn't have access to, 5-10 years ago, which I think is a huge change. But yeah, same thing with the promo code box. I mean, we hear that all the time from many of our clients, especially if it comes from a different channel, like social, for example. But at the end of the day, the consumer was looking for that. And if they're going to make a purchase, we want to make sure that the affiliate partner is getting some type of credit for that. And I think that's important because they're putting a lot of work into making sure that the brand's successful as well.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. I think you mentioned, making sure that people in leadership understand affiliate marketing and how it works. I think that's something that I hear a lot if I am talking with somebody in performance or growth marketing. Maybe the rest of the organization isn't as clued in. Do you have 2-sentence quick description of how you would kind of explain it to somebody in leadership?
Yeah, I think depending on your audience and, knowing a director of marketing, a CMO, I think the biggest piece is affiliate marketing is not just a coupon and deal channel, where I think there's a misconception from over the last decade. Affiliate marketing is used everywhere. I mean, everybody uses it every day. If you have a credit card, more than likely you're getting some type of points. I'm sure many of you on this call are using it. That's affiliate marketing. That's exactly how I explain it to my parents when they're asking, like, what the heck do you do? But I think it's important with like a CMO, for example, to explain it is so important that affiliate marketing is one of the most profitable channels. And Brooke called this out as far as there's no other channel where you're going to get your money back if a return is made. Like at the end of the day, if you click through a Google ad, you're paying for that CPC, whether they convert and if they decide like, I don't want this and they return it. Affiliate, you are truly paying for the transaction. And I think that is really how to push the message.
That's a great point. Yeah. So you mentioned coupons, discounts, promo codes, things like that. We were kind of curious, for those of you who are listening in today, are coupons currently part of your affiliate strategy or something that you are using?
That poll should be live now.
Okay. Yeah, this is something that I'm always curious about. I know, especially right now, there's been a move away from discounts. A lot of people don't want to be considered discount brands. At SheerIDEA, I'm working with people on a lot of giveaways, kind of VIP offers, events now that we're returning to in-store and brick and mortar. But I think at least on the SheerIDEA side, with the different communities that you can reach, there's definitely still a lot of opportunity with coupons and discounts. So what's everybody else doing, Ashley?
It looks like the bulk of people, close to 100% of people who are attending, we're in the 90s,
right,
are using coupons sites in their marketing.
Interesting. Wow. Yeah, that's super interesting. So the next thing I was curious about is, why you guys think that discounts and special offers are an effective tool for brands, including those luxury brands who might not want to be perceived as a discount brand. Trisha, what are your thoughts on that? I know you have a lot of experience in kind of the coupon space.
When it comes to luxury brands, I think there's in part a misconception that only lower income people are using coupons, but really one of our PMA members, eAccountable, did a study and found that household incomes over 100,000 are actually some of the biggest online coupon users. Wow. So these are a lot of your customers out there that are looking for these coupons, and coupons can be used to shift brand loyalty. So if you as a brand are not using coupons, coupon sites can use those coupons to shift loyalty from your brand to your competitors. So if you're choosing not to do it because you think, well, it's just not the right thing for your brand, take a look at your competitors. If any of your competitors are using coupons, then coupon sites are shifting loyalty from your brand over to those brands.
Oh, that's true. That's a really good point. So you need to keep up with what the competition is doing to remain competitive and keep that loyalty. Brooke, I know you guys live and breathe coupons, discounts, special offers. What have you been seeing, and why do you think that they're an effective tool?
Coupons, shopping the prices just seem to trigger something that's deep in the human instinct. It gets our attention, it excites us, and it really can add to the pleasure of a purchase. Coupon, we understand quite broadly, right? So it could be a gift with purchase, which of course you see with luxury brands. That message has to be advertised, category sales, on rebates, you name it. And so it has an apparent appeal. Everyone is to a greater or lesser extent going to be price sensitive, and it behooves the merchant to understand where the consumer is and to set not just their pricing strategy properly, but also their sort of back and forth communication strategy, of which coupons are a part. So this is not a luxury brand, but there's a famous example of JCPenney years ago where a new CEO came in, got rid of all the pricing game, and sales tanked, right? Because why? People love to play that game. And whether or not you like it, it's something consumers are going to look for. And with SheerIDEA, by the way, I think it's a great way to play the game because it's going to a particular segment that also resonates, with their personal identity. I am a first responder, for example.
Yeah, I have seen that a lot, that it's a good way to kind of dilute the discount message. And, we do surveys throughout the year, and we heard from consumers that 96% of them, and that's general consumers, want to see brands giving back to some of those frontline workers, military, and even college students right now. So that's a really good point. Kelly, what do you tell different brands and customers when they have that concern about coupons or discounts? Is it a strategy you recommend?
Yeah, it is. And we actually work with some luxury brands, but I think one of the biggest things that I often will tell some of the clients we work with is to go take a look at some of the coupon sites and check out the brands that are on site. And you're going to see, luxury brands like Christian Dior, Burberry, like they're all playing in the affiliate space on coupon and deal sites. The other thing is you're going to miss that consumer. Brooke and Trisha both talked about this, but over 50% of Americans are, consider discounts and coupons when shopping. And that number has actually increased with COVID. More and more people are savvier when it comes to shopping. And Trisha made a really good point with loyalty, and we see this firsthand, but loyalty, wealthy consumers love loyalty programs. And so if you don't have an internal loyalty program, for example, like a points or rewards that you're getting from the brand, oftentimes some of these luxury brands will leverage loyalty affiliate partners to kind of make up that gap. And it does extremely well. So I think that this, and I feel like we've used the word misconception a lot on this call so far, but it's really true that wealthy consumers are going to use coupons, deals, loyalty, wherever they can find the best deal. Because why not? Why would they pay full price if they don't have to?
Yeah, that's a good point. And I think a lot of older shoppers are shopping online more now because of the pandemic, more than they might have before. And a lot of them have that higher household income too. So that could be playing into it. So we mentioned some loyalty, we mentioned rebates, we've mentioned discounts. If people are thinking about what kinds of offers they should give and they should promote, what do you guys recommend? What have you been seeing that performs the best? Trisha.
So for my particular membership base, the shipping offers tend to do really well. So anytime that you can do free shipping, and the way that you can do that is to use your minimums so that you can increase the average order value at the same time that you're offering free shipping. So we've kind of tested, where those lines are of where people are willing to how much they're willing to spend, and they're willing to spend more if they're getting free shipping. And I've actually seen merchants that have done tests side by side, the same products day after day, and looking to see if we price the product higher and give free shipping versus if we price the product lower and they have to pay for shipping, people want the free shipping. And so there are people that will pay more for something to get free shipping, just because they feel like they're getting that kind of a deal. And then obviously, you know, this time of year, the kind of seasonal coupon codes that have words that are easy, especially as if we start to talk about influencers a little later, you know, being able to just use the word Mary and just say, you know, use the word Mary, and then your influencer can use that word. You can use it in your social media really easily, and then you can track those coupon codes. So anytime you're using something that's seasonal or that people kind of think is only going to be there for a limited time, when you can push those to create more of that kind of sense of urgency, that seems to help as well.
Mhm. Yeah, free shipping is universally loved. Every time we do a survey, healthcare workers, first responders, military, college students, they all want free shipping. It's definitely top of the list. Brooke, I know that you guys have talked about free shipping and how it is something that's taken into account when you're kind of optimizing offers or, you know, suggesting offers that different publishers might feature. So I know free shipping is important there. What other types of things are important when different publishers are thinking about what types of offers they want to promote?
Yeah, I think you know, the clear discount as a percentage or dollar it wins out. You're also seeing other things that sort of are associated with charity by some surveys I've seen, especially with younger users, and we chatted about that a little bit. You see the category discounts, the product discounts, and a lot of sort of game activities. So for example, when you go to the merchant site, there's often the coupon code on the site. Some of the merchants pre-fill the coupon codes. So if you look at Bed Bath & Beyond, for example, they have a UID they associate with their account. You can go to them, and then you sort of select from the coupons in your coupon library. So I think that's a very strong indication that people do enjoy interacting with the coupons, and of course feeling like they're getting a discount.
Yeah, absolutely. And Kelly, have you seen anybody doing anything especially creative, either with discounts or just with offers in general?
Yeah, one of the biggest pieces I think we learned over the last year with the pandemic is being very specific and relevant to what they're looking for. So, you know, before you could kind of have a promotion out there that was kind of, I don't know, great deals here or shop now. So if you're very specific, get up to 50% off, or you know, get free shipping, like Trisha mentioned, we definitely see an increase in our conversion rates. In addition, also to what Trisha said, vanity codes do extremely well, especially with mobile. So if you're bouncing back and forth on a mobile device, you don't want to have some really long coupon code.
Sure.
If you're, you know, you're on your iPhone, you're like, I don't know, what was that code, going back and, you know, you got to copy paste and zoom in. I don't know how all of you do on that, but having a code like Mary, for example, you know, oh, I'm going to get my 25% off if I plug that in. So, you know, that's definitely something we look at when we're looking at performance to see how, you know, how are our brands doing via mobile. And if they do see a lot of transactions via mobile, we make sure that they're leveraging vanity codes and other ways to optimize.
Perfect. Yeah, that makes sense to me. I was wondering, you kind of touched on conversion and, you know, making things very, specific and relevant. I was wondering what you thought about doing some sort of special offer, say for military or for healthcare workers. Is that something you would expect to have a higher conversion rate since it is specific?
Yes, 100%. But I think the key is where are they landing? So you have to make sure that, you know, you have a text link or a banner. You only have 2 seconds to capture their attention. So this is great. Okay. You know, I'm military and I'm going to click on this and get my deal. If you land them just on your generic homepage, more than likely you're going to lose them, because now they're like, wait a minute, I thought I was going to get a discount. So I think that's the biggest piece. And oftentimes we see, you know, with some of the brands that we work with or that we launch that we're kind of taking over some of their programs, is really making sure we're optimizing the landing pages with a message. That is where you can definitely see an increase in your conversion rate.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really important, thinking about where they're landing. That's going to make a big difference with your their conversion rates. I think, Trisha, you touched a little bit on kind of holiday offers and using the code Merry. I know there's a lot of limited time deals around the holidays too. What do you think about that?
And it just makes it easier for the affiliates to have new things to talk about and to push, because you're going to get the affiliates' attention when you're giving them something that's unique, that's not just the same deal that they run all the time. It's not the same deal that they're running everywhere else. So when you're giving them something that says, you know, limited time only, today only, one day only sale, as long as you're giving them time to get that loaded. Don't send out a newsletter at 3 p.m. that says we're having a one day only sale today. That's going to get ignored, because by then the affiliate has already done all their planning for the day. They've already pushed their social, made their graphics and all of that. So if you're running a one day only deal, make sure that you give the affiliates at least 24, 48 hours in advance. And we all know we're not supposed to release those. It's just, it's part of how we work. We know that if you say one day only on Thursday, we're not going to post on our Facebook, hey, guess what? On Thursday, this company is going to be running one day only sale. We don't do that. That's part of how we work. We wait until that day to promote those kind of things. So use that kind of stuff, but work with your affiliates to make sure that you're giving them enough notice so that they can get you into maybe featured placement on their homepage or their newsletter, or slot you into their social media plan for that day, because most of them are doing those at least a day or two in advance.
Love it. That's a really good tip. Great advice. I'm going to pause for a second there. Ashley, I just wanted to check in to see if anybody has any questions for our panel.
Yeah, we did have a question. The question is around one question this individual has received when managing their affiliate program is whether affiliate transactions would have occurred without affiliate marketing channel being involved or not. For example, a Honey extension pulls coupons for visitors that are already on our site. How do you explain the value of these decisions to people who are not familiar with affiliate marketing?
That's a great question. Who wants to field it first?
I can jump in if that's
Great.
okay.
Yeah.
This is a question we get a lot. So first and foremost, kind of going back to attribution, I think this is where having different tools or different reports available is going to play to your benefit. So what we often see with partners like Honey or any toolbar extension is, yeah, a lot of times they get the last click credit. I mean, I'm not going to lie, but that does happen. However, looking at the consumer path and how quickly did they purchase. So you can look at different behavior reports, like were they going to purchase, that day, or did they take, 7 days to make a purchase? When do you want that purchase? The other thing that I think is really important is looking at the customers that they're bringing in. So kind of going back, I think I brought this up before, but new customer value is a big part of it. So oftentimes in affiliate marketing, with all of our affiliate partners, we see that the new customers that they bring in are more than likely going to repeat purchase than many of the other channels. So I think at the end of the day, are you willing to pay a little bit more or get that, that last click to go to an affiliate like a Honey, for example, and get that customer to repeat purchase and probably make more purchases during the year than some of your other channels? So the best thing that you can do is look at the reports that you have available. Definitely talk to the network that you're working with and see what's available. Also talk to your partners. They are amazing and super transparent, and they can also share some insights as well.
Thanks. Yeah. Trisha and Brooke, did you have anything to add to that? Any advice for?
I do. First, you assume that you would have gotten that sale anyway, but you may not have. They may have been putting the coupon in the cart to see what the final price was actually going to be. And if they didn't have that coupon, you may have ended up losing that sale. They also can target your competitors through that toolbar. So it could very well be that, they're looking for sporting goods and they're on your site and you're not working with them. And so they pop up a coupon for your competitor if they don't have a coupon for you. And so all of a sudden, when the customer might already have things in their cart and then they see your competitor pop up with a 10% off or free shipping or something, and they think, oh, maybe I should go check out that site instead and see maybe what kind of deals I can get over there. So you are paying some money, and you may be paying a little bit of money that you didn't have to, but at the same time, not doing that, you may end up losing sales that you would have had. And also by having, that contractual relationship with that affiliate, you have a little bit of leverage with them, because you could very well have that toolbar popping up stuff about you that's incorrect, that frustrates your customers. They see a coupon code, it doesn't work, then they're calling your customer service and they're complaining, and it just creates a bad consumer experience. So by actually having a relationship with Honey or Capital One or whatever the toolbar is, you have that contractual relationship to say to them, hey, your coupons need to be up to date. They need to not be expired. They need to all be legitimate, not scraped coupons from other places, things that you're getting from us. So you have more leverage in that relationship when you're paying them a little bit. Like Kelly said, it could be with the attribution channel. It might only be 1% that you're paying them anyway. Especially you can look and see, did they already have everything in their cart? And then they put that coupon in there. And maybe you can even look through the tracking and say they had this stuff in the cart, they put in the coupon, and because they saw that they were spending less money than they thought, they went and put more stuff in their cart. And now all of a sudden you're seeing that you're getting a higher average order value because of that coupon in the cart.
Yeah, that's a good point. So those are definitely things that I think everybody in the organization would care about, right? Order frequency, loyalty, having a good user experience, increasing AOV. I think, all of those are good reasons why everybody in the organization should be invested in affiliate marketing. Brooke, did you have anything to add? Anything you thought might be helpful?
Yeah, Trisha and Kelly brought up really good points. It's really kind of a question of optimization. And I would say, if you get emotional, you're going to lose out on the deal. One other thing you want to kind of keep in mind is, not only has the user installed this toolbar and is potentially a very active user of it, which is probably still a very small percentage of your actual shopping base, but anybody who is a merchant out there is competing with what I believe is probably the most successful coupon in the history of the world, which is Amazon Prime. Anybody who is in your shopping cart is very likely a member of Prime. They are very likely to jump out of your shopping cart at any moment and go and buy it from Amazon. Probably not what you want. And so it behooves you to work with as many partners as possible who can tip people back toward your website and to completing that conversion.
Yeah, great. That's a good point. Brooke, have you seen any evidence that coupon sites or toolbars are harmful to brands?
I think that's also kind of an emotional question. I think that the brand safety thing is greatly exaggerating. If you look at it, the really dark stuff like pornography and hate sites and stuff, they're not pounding the gate to be led into a typical affiliate program. They're typically not allowed in networks and so on. And then if you get into the sort of more mundane world, consumers, I think, expect to see those there. Kelly raised the point earlier, like go and look where your competitors are. Your competitors are on those sites. And to the point Trisha made, you can't really keep, there have been a couple very long drawn out lawsuits, which are not very successful, but you can't really keep an affiliate from posting a link to your site. And so not only do you lose the leverage, but there might be bad information there, et cetera. And so I think that what you really want to do as a merchant, especially if you have a sort of image you want to maintain, is to keep the best possible relationships up with those, especially when they're partners who want to drive sales to you. So does it sort of cheapen your brand? My personal view is that it does not really. I think there's other concerns that you really want to have, like the quality of your products, what your pricing strategy is relative to your competitors, et cetera.
I think that makes a lot of sense. Trisha, I know you have very intimate knowledge of different coupon sites. What would you say if somebody says that a coupon site is harmful to their brand?
The coupon sites themselves, as your affiliates, you're allowing them into the program. Whoever's managing your program is who's looking through all of those sites to begin with. So you already have some amount of control, over those affiliates, because you're deciding who is allowed in. And really the biggest pushback you're going to get is from content sites that say, we hate seeing you listed on all these coupon sites. But by using the attribution channels, you go back to those content sites or to those influencers and you say, yes, but you're still getting a percentage of this commission, even if a coupon site gets involved. So actually the coupon site helps you because they may close a deal on something that you didn't quite get the consumer to where they needed to be to make the purchase. And then the coupon site tipped them over. So they may be getting a little percentage of that, but you're getting a percentage of something when you were getting nothing, and you're working with them collaboratively in that relationship. So a lot of it it comes down to communications. It's who your affiliate manager is letting into the program, and then it's being fair using all those attribution tools that you have and communicating to your affiliates, your content affiliates, and saying, yes, we do work with coupon sites. Yes, we do work with browser extensions, but here's how our attribution is set up to make sure that you're going to be rewarded for your work.
Yeah. And Kelly, are those the kinds of conversations you're having with customers when they're thinking about who might be a good fit, which publishers they want to use for their programs?
Yeah. Whenever we work with brands, we have a list of like who we can work with and who we don't want to work with. We have some restrictions on different countries, just specific partner groups such as Coupon, maybe they do not want to work with. We do advocate for Coupon partners because I do think there's a significant benefit. And talking about maybe Coupon partners being harmful for your brand. If you have a social media channel and people on Facebook, you see consumers typing that they're angry about something, an order was messed up or this. To me, I mean, that's not harmful. That's just in the world we live in now. So I think, again, a lot's changed over the last 10 years. And I think coupon partners, if you have a good relationship with them, which is really critical, you can work with them and make sure that they're updating the offers on the site that you want. Make sure that the links are working properly. If not, you're going to miss out. What is interesting, and I'll say this, we just posted our Cyber 5 recap for this past weekend. We did actually see coupon and deal partners were down year over year, but a lot has to do with, we believe, the supply chain issues and just consumers trying to find products. We saw loyalty and content partners were actually up. And I think with loyalty, we saw that because a lot of brands were leveraging loyalty to get that increased promotion that maybe they didn't have the same deep discount they did a year ago. It's still really important because those coupon partners, maybe they were down, they still drove a ton of traffic for the brand. And this kind of goes back to my earlier point that how do we know that traffic didn't convert for another channel, right? Like remarketing, retargeting, email, whatever it is, more than likely, if you're getting traffic to your site, that's a huge win.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry, let me jump in on Kelly's point. I saw that survey, and it is worth noting the deal volume was down. So for Thanksgiving week for us, we saw 8% fewer deals, and that's against more merchants because we're adding merchants every week. I think that does speak to supply chain issues, and also Black Friday is sort of now diluted itself, sort of like more Black November. Adobe tracked $3 billion days. I think it was 29 this year or so, and 5 last year. So it's a real change in e-commerce, which doesn't have to be bound to the door busting Friday that historically has been. And it's worth also noting that we have this category of coupon site, but that itself is probably also going to be diluted in the future, which is to say that, big change in the last year is the buy now, pay later guys kind of burst out. They've been around for years, of course, but I think that last year was kind of their coming out year. And we work with a lot of those guys providing coupons. Are they coupon sites? Well, they kind of are, they kind of aren't. They're communities, they're directories. And we also see the same thing with some of the commerce content guys. Those guys, I think, are not yet posting as many coupons as they ought to be because, they want the conversion. Not only can you also have the vanity code, but the coupon code can track back to the individual affiliate. And by the way, FNDC's system allows both the affiliates and the merchants to put those in from their respective sides. So the display of the coupons and where possible the products, I think, is going to spread out more in the future as well, which is something very important. Because if you're the merchant and you have your discount for military members, you want to that to get spread as far as wide as possible.
Yeah, for sure. Ashley, I wanted to check in. Do we have any more questions?
We have a couple of questions, but why don't you keep going? I'll save those for the end. Why don't you keep going with some of the questions you had? Because I know we're about 40 minutes in right now, and I want to make sure you get everything you're trying to get to.
Sure. Yeah. I think there were 2 I was really hoping to get to. And the first one is sort of related to what we've been talking about. I think a lot of different brands have concerns when we're talking about adding a military discount or, a special teacher offer, something for teacher appreciation or students for back to school. You kind of have to factor in the costs and the margins when you have a discount, and you have the commissions, and then you have a verification so that you can ensure that it's gated. So what would you say if somebody has some concerns about the cost of an affiliate program? I'm going to start with Brooke.
Yeah, I think Kelly mentioned it earlier that, affiliate is typically very popular. By studies I've seen, it's typically the most, sorry, not popular. We like to think it's popular,
I
profitable.
think it's popular. Everybody on this call thinks it's popular.
So by studies I've seen, it's the most profitable channel after in-house email, typically, right? Because not quite free, but it's pretty close. And so it is a fantastic acquisition channel. You control the cost. You're in the driver's seat as the merchant. And of course, there's going to be that cost factor. But where I think affiliate really loses out here is affiliate is kind of considered almost a COGS, whereas the other channels tend to be thought of as like customer acquisition. And if you think in terms of like a new customer being acquired, or not losing an old customer, affiliate is, quite a value.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, and especially when you're talking about email, email's great, but what I've been hearing is that lately it's been much better for awareness and not as good for conversions and for new customer acquisition. So I do think affiliate's a great channel for new customer acquisition. Kelly, how do you kind of describe affiliate to people when they're talking about, the cost compared to maybe social or programmatic PPC?
Yeah, great question. I love P&Ls. I'm kind of a geek when it comes to that. I think previously I was in-house for a long time managing affiliate and display. So we looked at everything, down to the net sales with shipping. But then in addition to the gross profit contribution margin, we also looked at customer data for every single affiliate partner that we worked with. So if the client is willing to look into that data, get the data from their finance and CRM teams or whoever they want to work with, I guarantee you're going to find, as Brooke said, like it is going to be one of the most profitable channels for you. And then you can actually, if you can get down to the partner level, you can even pinpoint different partners. It's still important to work with all those partners, but you can have different levers at different times. Like some partners are more profitable, like loyalty partners, for example, but they might not be driving as many new customers, but the customers we're retaining customers. Then you might have a deal partner that is driving a ton of new customers because, I have this awesome deal on jeans and, I sold out, driving a ton of new customers at that time. But maybe you're not retaining as many through it. So I think at the end of the day, it's really important to look at it holistically. And, you can put all the different costs in there. And then I think it's really important just aligning with like, what is kind of your end goal? Like, what are you willing to really pay for? And if you have the ability to compare to other channels, and again, I'm not taking away from other channels, I think that's where you can really win when you're talking to your lead in finance or your CMO of like how profitable the affiliate channel is.
That's great advice. That makes a lot of sense. I'm going to change directions just a little bit. I know we don't have a ton of time left. We've touched on it a couple of times. I was just wondering, what I've been hearing is that influencers are starting to play a much bigger role, especially when I'm talking to people about reaching some of those communities, healthcare workers, first responders, military. It can be really effective. But I was wondering what role influencers are playing in the current affiliate landscape. Trisha.
They're taking a lot of our time and attention right now. I will say almost every performance marketing association council call that we have devolves into some kind of conversation about what is happening with influencer and affiliate marketing. It's overwhelming for us right now to try to figure out what the overlap is and isn't and how we deal with that. And a lot of it comes down to coupons and coupon codes with the use of vanity codes for the influencers. And then it comes down to commission rates versus flat rate payments.
Hmm.
And then from there, going a little further into, then can we do hybrid models of things where we're maybe paying on the old influencer model where they're used to being paid as a sponsored post or a sponsored video or things like that, but then also having some kind of commissions layered on top of that. So, we're really trying to figure it out at the PMA, just figuring out where is that line and how much do we include influencers, because we did see a lot of influencers during COVID coming into affiliate marketing. And it's because there wasn't so much paid placement money for quite a while, and it was drying up for them. They weren't doing travel posts like they were before, but they still had huge audiences. So how do you make money, when you're a Disney blogger and what you normally do is go into the Disney parks every day and make videos and show everybody what the new merchandise is at Disney, and Disney's closed for 3 months? What do? You join the Disney shopping affiliate program and you start pushing out items on shopdisney.com instead. So we saw a lot of influencers come into affiliate marketing over this last 18 months. And now it's time to reconcile it all. It's time to be able to say, okay, this is how affiliates can act as influencers, which, we're learning from the influencers how we should be doing more of the placements on our social media and things like that. And then they're learning from us, how do we make these long-term commissions? And then who it's really hard for are the retailers and the agencies, as they're trying to figure out, okay, so do we keep paying this paid placement, or do we try to convince them to work on a commission? And if they won't work on a commission, how do we keep them as an influencer for our products? So that's going to take, it's a lot of technology and using the different tracking systems that we have out there, and just a lot of creativity in these next couple of months.
Yeah, Kelly, how have you guys been getting creative, as an agency and as one who would be including influencers as part of a campaign?
Yeah, it's been totally agree with Trisha. It's been taking a lot of time, but in a good way. I think previously we had influencers for some of the brands we managed were separated, like a different team and everything. And now they've kind of come over to affiliate, maybe merge teams. At the end of the day, we saw a bigger shift even earlier this year with the Apple and Google changes, where it's actually harder to track a traditional paid media. And I know, they're looking at ways like, I'm not making the same return on ad spend I was on Facebook. Can I do that in affiliate and track it in affiliate? So we've actually seen a shift, which is great. I do think it'll be interesting with the last click attribution. This kind of goes back to our earlier part of the call here on like how they're getting credit in like a traditional affiliate type of tracking setup. So that's kind of what we're working through. And like what Trisha mentioned, if we're going to pay them like a flat fee, so they're getting some of it, maybe they're not getting like the full last click like that they would, in a different channel. But yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting next year. And like what Trisha said, we're also just seeing a massive uptick in, influencers applying to our programs. A lot of them are coming through like sub-affiliate networks as well. So there's a big opportunity for education, just making sure they understand like, how do I pull a link? And like, what does this look like? When am I going to get paid? Because it's very different by brand. So I think the affiliate industry is going to see a big turn. And I bet a year from now, we're just going to see influencers as a much bigger mix in our overall pie.
Yeah. Brooke, are there any trends that you're seeing, or do you have any predictions around influencers?
A couple comments. One is, I think it's worth noting that affiliate moves toward hit, which is to say you optimize your program over time, whereas influencers, I think, move toward miss. And I don't mean to be overly negative, but a common pattern, especially if you include podcasts with influencers, is that there's, the audience can kind of play out a little bit. Sometimes it's a total miss entirely. You pay $5,000, you get like literally a handful of sales. And so that's something that leaves a lot of merchants burned, but people tend to go back to it because if you can figure it out, it can be worthwhile. And so I think that insofar as affiliate and influencer do have kind of a convergence with a higher expectation of tracking links and performance, that's going to be very helpful for influencers. How much the two channels combine or don't, I don't know. My guess is they'll sort of stay as distinct things with a little bit of overlap. And to that overlap, FMTC next year is looking to do a partnership to help us distribute deals to influencers.
Fantastic. That's really exciting. I hope you'll include some military and teacher influencers.
We certainly will.
Ashley, it looks like we might have a question or a comment about influencers.
Yeah, we do. It says that the biggest change in an influencer. It's more of like a comment, just kind of based on everybody's discussion. But the biggest change with influencer is that every social platform is trying to expand through affiliate marketing. Best example would be Instagram becoming an affiliate network in a way.
Oh, that's an interesting way to think about it. Have you guys been seeing that, how affiliates and influencers are playing in social?
Boy, I have a lot to say about this. Kelly, do you want to start? If we run out of time, I'll get to
No, I'll pass it to you.
5 minutes left, so.
Okay, I'll be quick. So I'm very fascinated by this. So one thing is Instagram historically just has their one link. I'm not on Instagram personally, but the one link, and then there's all these like Linktree and all these companies are helping you to add more links on sort of like on the fly, so you can get to multiple destinations based on the post and so on. And so I think, and of course that would include affiliates. That's a really huge opportunity for affiliate to blow up in a totally new direction. Instagram, I think, saw that, and Instagram and TikTok, they all want to make their app shoppable. But when they announced their affiliate program, it's not exactly an affiliate program, right? Because it's all within their walled garden. So as I understood it, that means that the merchant shopping cart is within as well. So the big question there then is, will they be able to get a critical mass of merchants to make it really meaningful as an affiliate program? And I saw, I think a couple of weeks ago, noticed that they actually now allow linking out to affiliate programs. And it's a little bit vague, so forgive me there. But my guess is that that's not going to work. And that at some level, they're going to have to embrace the monetization efforts of their creators, because without their creators, they're not going to have an audience. So I don't think that they're friendly toward affiliate, the social networks. But I think that there might be a necessary compromise there, because it's just too vast of a marketplace with too many players.
Yeah, those are all really good points. Trisha and Kelly, did you want to jump in?
This is exactly where I started with the changes and the complexities. I mean, there's just one more thing that you have to have somebody on your team who either specializes in the social media and all these changes that are happening in the stickers on Instagram and things like that, or you got to have some trusted sources that you're following to help you stay in the loop on these kinds of things.
Yeah. Do you guys have any suggestions for trusted sources? Kelly, maybe you have some ideas. I would guess that your acceleration partners or your agency would be a good source.
Yeah, I think this kind of goes back to the consumer as well. Gen Z, for example, they prefer to buy from influencers. I think that's going to be really key. So as Gen Z becomes, really like, into the millennial age group, we're going to start to see this get bigger. From trusted sources, I think the biggest piece is, again, whatever network you're working with, just make sure you're, checking the sites, looking at, where they're linking out to. Definitely look at who they're working with, like other brands. If they're not working with a competitor or like a similar brand, you might want to rethink, like, do I want to really partner with this partner, for example?
Yeah. And when we're talking about resources, real quick, I think if you do want to learn more about coupon sites, PMA did a really interesting industry-wide performance marketing survey specifically around coupon sites. So we can include a link to that after this call. I saw a little shout out for the FMTC newsletter. They always have a lot of really great articles. Kelly and Acceleration Partners are a wonderful resource. We're happy to make introductions to any of our panelists if that's something that you're interested in. Definitely always here to help. It's a fun conversation to have. Ashley, anything else you were hoping we would touch on before we wrap up today?
No, I think you've kind of touched on everything that I've been seeing so far. So if you want to try to squeeze in one more question, or if you want to wrap it up, I will leave that up to you, Angela.
One more question. I'm going to throw over to you guys. Is there anything you were hoping we would talk about today that we didn't cover? Brooke, anything you've been seeing?
Yeah, one closing thought, when we were all kids, we probably knew about senior discounts and student discounts, and those were verified by, showing up in person and showing an ID. The technology like SheerIDEA now enables the same thing to happen online. And I think that there's a lot of users out there who belong to these, consumer tribes who are going to expect to see these discounts. And if you're a small merchant and you don't, you're not playing that game, they might pass you by.
That's a good point. I've been talking to big companies, but I've also been talking to a lot of smaller brands. I think there's a lot of interest in moving into that space and being very personalized, a lot of targeting. People are thinking about those types of things right now. Trisha, any final thoughts?
One thing I think I'd like to leave everyone with is that you can build your brand credibility with your affiliates, especially if you are a smaller brand that maybe somebody sees a product on your site, but they've never heard of your brand before. And so they're not really sure about you, but then they go to their favorite loyalty site or their coupon site or deal site or whatever it is, and they see a post or a review or stars or a coupon listed or whatever it is. All of a sudden your brand's credibility is raised because it's not just they came across your site one time and they know nothing about you. They're now seeing you on all these other different review sites and coupon sites and things like that. So just kind of overall, even though there are some pitfalls with, dealing with affiliates, overall, you're going to actually end up with higher credibility by working with the different affiliates.
Yeah, definitely pros and cons, but I think we've covered a lot of the pros today. I think there's a lot of value in working with these affiliates. And Kelly, last but not least.
Yeah, no, I think looking ahead at 2022, there's so much opportunity. I would say now's not the time to actually not work with partners just because you're concerned, because the competition is just getting bigger and greater. And there's amazing companies like SheerIDEA, for example, and other ways that you could really capture the audience that you want to work with. So really take the time to look ahead and think about what you want your program to look like a year from now.
Thank you so much for joining us today. This has been a really interesting conversation, and I hope everybody who's joined has gotten a lot out of it, some food for thought. Ashley, are we going to be following up? I think that we had a...
Yeah. Thank you everybody for attending and to our wonderful speakers on the panel. We are going to be sending out the recording to this presentation as well as a couple of follow-up links. But that is pretty much all we have with the closing notes there. And as you exit, please make sure that you do that follow-up survey. We really would like to hear feedback on how you thought the presentation was, or if there's something we didn't cover that you'd love more information on. So please take that survey. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great day.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.